Dear parents, caretakers, teachers, and grandparents, thank you for coming back again and again and again. I'm very tempted to even add mentors into that list. Yeah, some of you are mentors. I will come to that mentorship, later. We started something very interesting. There are different roles that we have to play with our children. I started off saying that 0 to 2 years, you're a caretaker. 2 to 5 years, you are a trainer. You're training them in so many different things. 5 to 7, you are a teacher, spending time. Now, again, I kept saying this again and again. Don't dig into their weaknesses, don't dig into their mistakes. No, these are the times that we need to celebrate their strengths. Now, 7 to 10 years old, you are an instructor. What does an instructor do? Give them instructions and help them follow the instructions. That's exactly what an instructor does. These are things you do, these are things you don't do, this is how it is, this is what it is. Now you're talking about instructions for life, instructions in daily living. So this is a role where we have to be very careful. Here is not a teacher. You're not introducing things. Rather, there are certain things that the child already knows now. 7 to 10 years old, the child is already knowing certain things, but now you're beginning to instruct them about some of the things that they don't know, maybe adding dimensions that the child does not know. You being an instructor is going to be very, 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 very crucial. Now, during that time of being an instructor, be very careful about two things. There are so many different things. One is, don't get easily disappointed with your child. Sometimes parents show that disappointments. Oh, you can't even do that much also. Oh, come on. That frustration, that disappointment, be very careful about it. Again, don't damage their inner script. Be very careful on how we secure them and begin to walk in that place of a secure attachment. So that place of disappointments, we have to be very careful about it. Two, let's be very careful about not showing our frustrations or getting angry on the child. It might be our own situation, our own scenario. Sometimes I've even seen mothers tell the child at this age group, you're so sorry that our mama behaved like that. You should have understood that mama's going through so much, and this is what is happening with dada. This is what is happening with mama. This is what is happening with grandparents. There are problems. The child doesn't need to understand all of that. Yes, there are some issues that are there. The reality, the child needs to know, yeah, there's some things are there, but that's okay. Yeah, whatever happens, we are there for you. That place of stability, is going to be very crucial for the child, especially at this age, 7 to 10 years old. They're very curious. They're becoming very curious. They also become, imitators. They're beginning to imitate you and beginning to walk with you and all of that. So you have to be very careful on how we show our frustrations and disappointments. Let's be a little careful about it. Again, there are a lot of different things that we talked about, but I see these two things on the top list. Very, very young. Let's not tell our children saying, you didn't behave properly, or you didn't, study properly. See, you got such a bad mark. Even that guy, we would have taken him from the street and given him education, maybe he would have done much better than you. Again, no comparisons. Just be very careful about it. You being an instructor, the child has failed. They just said, hey, that's fine. Whatever has happened, let's see. These are some of the things you have to do. These are the instructions. Now, how do you execute the instructions? Now, to do all of these things, you have to spend a lot of time with your child. It's very, very important. You need to spend a lot of time. I deal with a lot of teenagers, a lot of young people whose inner script is so damaged. They have been raised up in a very high anxiety, high performance, disappointed tone kind of environment. No, we don't need that for our children. No, we don't need that. Yes, we need to talk about correction. We will talk about correction. Correction is very important. But remember the statement I kept on making: connect before you correct. Connection comes before correction. I'm not talking about authoritarian parenting or permissive parenting. We need to come to that place of discipleship parenting, intentionally discipling them in our parenting. That's the way to go. Thank you so much for coming back again and again and again and listening. And I pray even as you execute some of these principles, begin to work on some of these principles. We would love to hear from you. Send some messages. of how this has helped and how it has brought things, into your own parenting. Again, there are lots of different angles to it, but in a place of how you begin to deal with it, I'm just giving some of the main aspects of what it is. Thank you so much for being there. God bless you in that amazing journey.